Now, I know most of you must be thinking that yes, this is the video that will decrease our APK size to maybe 20 MBs or maybe 40 MBs as a lot of video claim, but that is not true, sadly. The maximum size you can decrease any blank project APK is 95 MBs as of now. That's the max I have seen. So even if you're packing an empty project, the max down you can go is 95 MBs. Even if you delete a lot of projects, a lot of maps, lot of scale down all the textures, you even turn off all the settings, that's the max. I will link a test in the description for the more like if you want more info. Now this video is for those who are targeting a app or a game above 100 MBs, because if you're targeting it below 100, then sorry, this video is not for you. You may search for some trick and tips which I don't think you will find very often. And also, if you're targeting that, basically, if you're trying to make a low-end mobile game which targets every device, Android device present till now, and also is like has better reachability, then I want like I would suggest to go to Unity for that, because you will have to see what is best for your game idea. And if you're creating a hyper realistic game or maybe a bit realistic game for Android, then I would suggest sticking with this video, as basically your game would be above 90 MBs for sure. So this video will help you optimize it a lot. So my game project was 2.4 GBs. The game name was I will not tell. And then I scaled down it to 230 MBs and released a very stable product which failed. Anyways, so that is it all about it. Let's get started. And sorry, just wanted to tell you all, I have released Ultimate C++ project, and it's Ultimate Battle Royale in made in C++ with EOS covered, lobbies and friends and everything you can think of, vehicles and cars. Now that is still in the pre-order stage. We have released a few videos, so if you want, you can check that out. The full course is releasing on first Jan, and the course will be completed before 15th Jan. Most of the videos are uploaded, so you may give a look at the course in the description. Thank you. So welcome back to the screen. Now let me just show you what my setup for the project would be. So I have an empty level which is called menu, which will wait for 5 seconds and then open the main level, and here I will be able to play. So we will be noticing what changes make everything. So we will be noting every step, what size reduced at what step. So I have not touched any setting in the project settings till now, and whatever I'm doing is on a screen in front of you. So the first thing is I will just generate the project files for that, make the target 31 and install location auto, package data inside .apk, and also maximum supported I will make this 2.4 and use display cutout reason. So this will expand the like the screen to take the full screen usage, and then also generate AAB. Now I will not do anything. I will not set the maps, not optimize anything else. I will just pack this and check what is the project size, and then we will do each thing one by one and check how the size decreases. Android etc2. We can even pack multi, but let's do EC2. The comparison would be similar. So package. Okay, so the test one is now completed. We have the results here. This took almost 23 minutes to build. Now every build after this will be smaller because we have already saved the intermediate files. Whenever you delete the intermediate files, it will increase, but at this moment it's saved. And also the number of, let me just check the number of shaders it came out with. So I believe it was 416 what it was displaying on path. So I will search for 416, and yes, it was 416. So we will note this that it was 416. And now let's check the package size. So for that, let's go to content drawer, content, right click, show in Explorer, and Android. Now this is the universal APK is the main thing to note, because this is the one which you install in your app, and if you're planning to publish it on Google Play, then .aab is the most important one. So the current .aab size is 400 MBs, and the universal APK that you install on the mobile is 151 MBs, which is a lot if you see just a single thing. There are games with 95 MBs, and a full shooter game is stored within them. So let us just create a folder and name this test1 and put them here. Now let's create a new folder for test2 and rename this to test2. Now in test2, we are going to enable two features. Firstly, we are going to project settings, and project settings. Let's go to packaging settings, scroll down and advanced. Now you will find exclude editor content when cooking. Now we do not need editor content to be included. So normally I always suggest, even if you're using a plugin, disable this. Sorry, enable this. And if you later find that something is missing, then disable it and check. And then we will also make cook only maps, and we will select the maps which we want to include in this list of maps to include. So we have two maps, so we will include, the first one is menu.uamp, and the second is third person maps and third person map. Now let's cook and check how much the size decreases. And before that, let's go to project settings, maps and modes, and select the game default map to the menu map. I forgot that, but hope, because we have not enabled cook only maps, that's why all the maps will get cooked. So now let's go and pack this. Now test2 and select folder. Now the start time for, I will notice it is 29 minutes. So I will 29 minutes. Yeah. And now, yes, the package is successful. So let's go back to the menu and let me just check for that. So let's go to characters, my project, Android, test2. Now, this has not changed this by much. We have this 147, and this was 151. So about 3-4 MBs, but not that much. So we can say that this test was like decreasing the size, but not that much. So yeah, it did decrease it. Now let's go back to the project settings. Now let's time for test 3. Let's go to packaging. And in, if you are working with some old version of Unreal Engine, then you will find this option, create compressed packages. Yes, this should be enabled, so that basically you have a compressed packaging thing. Now when we have these and then to the size didn't decrease, let's go back to the menu and check the texture sizes. And we have a lot of textures here, and the most of these will be get included, and you can see the dimensions for these textures are 2K. Now one more method for checking the texture size is basically what has taken the most size. So go to show in Explorer, Android, Now go to go to mm, build Android source com your company my project 6, and you have the Java functions here. Sorry, I messed up. I forgot where I put that. So as you noted, the packet had to go somewhere, so that's why there is a small cut, but no worries. Now let's go to the my project 6 Android test 2. So now the project size is 147. That means it decreased about 11 MBs. But if you remember, we set to exclude all the editor content, we even excluded the maps. Then why did it only decrease by 10 MB? That means that like that method is not useful. But that is wrong. If you're creating a game, then you will have a hell lot maps, hell lot marketplace items, hell lot dependencies, and then all the maps will get included, and the size would be a massive change. So this step should not be left out. But because we only have two maps in the game and we only packed those two, that why we got the size of 147. Let's move on and check why this size matters. Now, no worries. So we will now what I'm going to do is for that you need to pack the game once. So pack once and then get to this folder and go to your saved folder, then cooked Android etc2. Now you will you may have etc like multi or ASCI. So whatever version you have, just open that. And now you find two projects, engine and my project 6. So let's right click and go to properties. And you will notice that out of the 144 MBs, my project 6 is taking 114 MBs because these two are the cooked packages that are getting included in the APK. Now, if this is taking 114 MBs, how much is the engine taking? Now, this is taking 78 MBs, which when both merge, they come out to be like 790 MB, and a few packages are compressed and brought down. But if you look at the differences, we need to optimize both. So let's go to our my project 6 and check the size of the content. Now this is the content folder that we have in our game. Now 93 MB. So this content folder, this one, just these are taking 96 MBs of the game. And I don't think that should take it. So why is it taking so much? Let's check. Now we have three more folders: characters, level prototyping, and third person. Now starter content was not included because it was not included in any of the level maps, and that's why starter content was left out, which is a perfect job of optimization done by Unreal Engine. But if I right click characters, it comes out to be 75 MB, and this whole project folder like content folder size was 114 MBs. So that means the character folder is taking the major chunk of the MBs. And also we can right click properties for level prototyping, and it's only 300 KB, so we don't need to optimize anything in this level prototyping folder. And for third person, we also have 80 KBs, so we don't need to optimize anything there. The map size is also just 1 and 4 KBs, so nothing to optimize there. This character folders is the main folder that is eating up our space. Now let's go to mannequin and right click textures. Now this textures is taking the whole size, and you can open this textures and check the textures for all. Now let's go to our characters and just press textures. Now here are so many maps that we need to optimize. So what we will do is basically just the free method. Now this is a 4K texture, and that's why it's taking a lot of size in the game. So the max in game is even 2K, but still the resource size is 2 MBs, and 2 MB for a texture is a lot for a mobile game. So we will optimize that. Now if you are using a plugin, which I do, I usually used RED text tools for that. Link would be in the description. But if you don't want to use a plugin, you want to do it the free method, just select select the textures that are with the same resolution, like all of these are 4K, and then right click, go to asset actions, bulk edit via property matrix. Now if you are getting a low end mobile game, then make the max texture resolution to, maybe keep the max resolution for any texture in the game to be 512. And if you're creating a pretty high realistic game for mobiles, something like PUBG, then keep it 1024. So we have this max texture size. I will make this the max to be 124, and just save all. Now this will save all the textures, and now all the textures will have a max resolution of 1024. Now I presume that you are normally, the users will create a game with pretty like something like Unity and want to achieve a very low size of 20-30 MBs. So I will make it 512 for now. And it's preparing the shade textures. And now save all. Now let's back another build and check what is the new size. So we will create a new folder. We name this test3 and select folder. Okay, so the APK has successfully been built. So let's go and check what is the new size. Has that decreased or is still the same? So let's go back, and now Android test3, and we have the new size to be 133 MB. So it decreased, but again by just 11 MBs. So we will note the new size. It's 133 MB. So from 154 we are down to 133. Now let's go back to the saved folder, cooked, Android etc, my project, content, and right click characters. Now this came down to 6 MBs. That is such a massive drop. Now let's right click this content folder, and the max is 225 MB. So this is a drop, a very big drop. But now something else is taking up the project size. And now this is 78 MBs is the size on disk for our plugins. So let's go to engine and then plugins and check the plugins. Now paper 2D is a plugin which is enabled, and it is taking 48 KBs. So even though it's taking a lot less, let's go and make show only enabled and search for paper 2D. Now if you're not making a paper 2D game, then just disable it. And then we also have the next one. So let's take the look at how much total plugins is taking. It's 23 MBs. And then we have animation, control rig. If you're not using control rig, disable it. Oh, okay, so it's required by IKRig, so I will not touch that part because I think it's getting used. Then in the editor we have speed tree importer, which we do not need because we are not using a speed tree. Then we also have interchange, runtime, content. Uh, nope, we need these media. We need media plate. Let's search for media plate and check what it is. So I believe it's media player. So I hope most of the games will use that. And on runtime, we have mesh modeling tools, which I don't think any one of you would be using, but it needs to be enabled for the new editor mode, that is this modeling one. So let's leave that. And we have just disabled 2 plugins. So just restart. I don't think that will make a much of a change. The major change will be still be made by these project settings of 46 MBs and 78 MBs. Go to engine, content, and content is taking 53 MBs now. Okay, so this is taking 53 MBs. And the game is still almost the same, nothing has changed much. Now the next bigger step would be to go to the project settings. Okay, let's just go to package, Android, shipping, and pack. And let's check what is the new size it comes up to. Okay, so the project is now built. Let's check what is the project size. Uh, why I like close the Explorer when I know that I have to check it. Android test 4. And not much of a difference. Just 132 MBs is the max we came down to till now. But we can go even lower. Now our last few steps to like reduce the size would be go to the project settings, and would be like small settings that totally make sense when you are like having something like this. So we will change it to mobile, and then supported we will disable all the platforms. We will just have, oops, Android, and yes, Android. And then we will go to editor preferences, experimental, and you will find let me go to all and search for the assignments, set it to true, right click on this map, go to asset actions and assign to chunk, make it 0. Now go to third person maps, right click, asset actions, assign to chunk, now make it 1. So chunk are small pieces of files that get stored together. Now go to project settings, packaging, force one chunk file per file, and yes, create a package compression, not hardware override, and rest is correct. Now this should come out basically to a very smaller package size. Now let's restart the editor and check what is the difference now. And now we will package the content, shipping, and Android. We have test 5 as the new folder, and select.